6 years old and already convinced she was dumb. That's how little Sofia Martinez felt the day she sat in her family's grand library staring at another test paper covered in red Fs. The room looked like something out of a palace walls lined with books she couldn't read, a chandelier glittering overhead. But to her, it felt like a cage, a place where failure echoed louder than laughter. Her tiny hands shook as she stuffed the papers into a folder, tears smearing the ink. From the hallway, her father's voice cut through like a knife, sharp, impatient, full of disappointment. I don't care how much money I've spent on tutors. If she can't pass first grade, she's going to boarding school. 2 weeks. That's all she has. Those words crushed her more than the failing grades. 2 weeks to prove she wasn't broken. 2 weeks to stop being the girl her dad couldn't be proud of. She almost didn't notice the soft voice behind her. Another tough day, honey. It was Elena Carter, the housemaid who'd been working in the mansion for 3 years. At 34, she carried herself with quiet dignity, her navy uniform crisp, her hair tied back, eyes warm and steady. She'd seen Sofia struggle in silence for months, tutors barking at her worksheets, piling up the sparkle, fading from a little girl who just wanted someone to understand. Sofia sniffled and held up her math test. Papa says I'm not smart enough. He says smart kids don't fail every test. Maybe I should just go away to one of those schools where they fix dumb kids. That line hit Elena like a fist. She thought of her own daughter Maya, who battled the same demons with reading and the way adults' careless words cut deeper than any wound. Elena crouched down so their eyes met, voice firm but tender. Listen to me, Sofia. You are not dumb. Your brain just works differently, and that doesn't make you less smart, it makes you special. You can learn, you just need someone who believes in you. For the first time in weeks, the little girl's tears slowed. No teacher had ever said that. No one had ever pointed out the things she did right. But their moment was broken when the heavy footsteps came closer. Mr. Martinez entered, sharp suit, colder eyes. He spotted Elena holding the test papers. What's going on here, Elena? I don't pay you to interfere with my daughter's education. He glanced at Sofia with disdain. She needs discipline, not coddling. Elena stood steady but respectful. Sir, sometimes children don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because no one's teaching them in a way they understand. His laugh was short and cruel. I've hired the best tutors money can buy. And you, the maid, think you know better? Elena took a breath, heart pounding. I think I care more than they do. Give me 2 weeks. Let me try a different way. If she doesn't improve, you can do what you think is best. But let me fight for her. The silence stretched. Finally, he spat the words like a dare. 2 weeks. Her grades go up or she goes. And Elena, your job hangs on it too. He turned and walked out, leaving Sofia wide-eyed. You didn't have to do that, she whispered. He'll fire you. Elena smiled gently. Some things are worth risking a job for. You're worth the risk. The next morning, Elena came armed with nothing fancy, just colorful blocks, markers, and a determination money couldn't buy. She laid a blanket on the living room floor, not the intimidating study. Forget those worksheets, she told Sofia. Tell me what you love. The girl's face lit up for the first time in months. I like drawing and cooking with Rosa in the kitchen, and stories about princesses. Perfect. Elena poured out the rainbow blocks. Did you know drawing uses the same thinking as math, and cooking, well, that's just reading and measuring disguised as fun? Show me how you count to 10 with these blocks. Sofia's fingers moved easily. She could count objects, she just froze when numbers sat on a page. Elena grinned. See, you know this already. It's the worksheets that make you feel lost, not your brain. For the first time, the child laughed while doing math. That afternoon, the expensive tutor came with thick workbooks and a frown. Within minutes, Sofia's shoulders slumped again. her confidence evaporating. "It's simple," the tutor snapped. "Borrow from the tens place and regroup." Sophia whispered, "I don't get it." The tutor rolled her eyes. "Any second grader should." When she left, the report was bleak, no progress. Sophia curled up in her room, sobbing. "I thought I was getting smarter, but I'm still too stupid." Elena sat beside her, rubbing her back. "Sweetheart, the problem isn't you, it's them. They don't know how to teach you, but I do. Trust me, and we'll show everyone how brilliant you really are." In the days that followed, Elena turned learning into play. Counting cookies, measuring flour, making patterns with flowers from the garden. Reading turned into story building. Sophia invented a princess named Bella, who lived in a castle of magic books, and every new word they wrote became part of Bella's adventure. Soon Sophia was reading whole sentences, stumbling but correcting herself, glowing with pride. Elena started a learning journal, decorated with stickers, showing progress every day. By the end of the week, the once defeated girl was waking up excited, asking, "What are we going to learn today?" Mr. Martinez noticed. One night, he came home to find Sophia and Elena laughing over a math game. "This doesn't look like serious schoolwork," he said, suspicion heavy in his voice. Sophia beamed. "But Papa, I can add to 20 now." We counted when we baked cookies. We measured my height, and we even did patterns with flowers. Ricardo flipped through the journal. 30 words she could read. Double-digit math problems solved. Stories she'd written. He didn't say much, but something in his eyes shifted. Still he pushed. "You have 12 days left. If this doesn't work, boarding school it is." Elena didn't flinch. She knew what they were building couldn't be undone. The real test came with the looming standardized exam mandatory for every child her age, the gatekeeper to second grade. It was the kind of test that measured numbers on paper, not the joy of learning. Elena admitted to herself she was terrified, but she never showed it to Sophia. "This test doesn't decide if you're smart," she told her. "It's just one way to show what you know. We'll practice the strange questions until they feel normal. But no matter what happens, I'll be proud of you." They practiced breathing timed drills, turned into games and strategies for when panic set in. When Sophia grew tired, Elena would say, "Stretch, high deep breaths, remind yourself you are smart and capable." The night before the test, Sophia whispered, "What if I forget everything?" Elena squeezed her hands. "Then you guess, and you move on. And when you walk out of that room, you'll still be the bravest girl I know." Test day came. Sophia wore a bright yellow dress she called her sunshine dress. At breakfast, she asked her father, "Papa, are you worried I'll fail?" For the first time, Mr. Martinez knelt down, softened. "I'm not worried about you, mijija. I know you're smart. I just hope the test can see it too." She nodded, holding tight to Elena's hand all the way to the testing center. 3 hours later, Elena sat in the waiting area, heart racing, praying, replaying every lesson in her mind. When Sophia finally emerged, she was tired but smiling. "I tried everything you taught me. That alone felt like victory." Weeks passed before the results arrived. Mr. Martinez opened the envelope in his study, Elena beside him. Reading comprehension, 94th percentile. Math reasoning, 89th. Writing, 92nd. Overall exemplary. He sat back stunned. "She's not just passing. She's excelling." Elena whispered, tears in her eyes. She always could. She just needed someone to believe it. That night, Ricardo raised a toast at dinner with Elena and her daughter Maya, invited as guests. "To my brilliant little girl who never gave up, and to the woman who saw potential when I only saw problems." Sophia added, clinking her glass of apple cider. And to Maya, because smart kids should be friends. The room erupted in laughter and tears. But here's where the story twists. A few months later, Sophia's father founded a learning foundation using his fortune to spread Elena's methods to schools everywhere. Elena, once just the maid, became a recognized educator standing in classrooms filled with children once labeled as failures. Sophia, now thriving, even stood on a stage at 11 years old telling the world, "Every child is smart. Some kids just need different teachers." Now let me leave you with this. Was Ricardo right to threaten boarding school in the first place, forcing Elena to step in? Or was he just another parent blinded by traditional measures of success, nearly breaking his child before someone else saved her? Have you ever seen a kid written off as stupid when all they needed was patience and a new way of learning? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because stories like this about how society treats kids who don't fit the mold spark debates that matter. And if you believe every child deserves someone who fights for their potential, make sure you subscribe, share this story, and tell us, what do you think is the real measure of intelligence?